Hey guys, I didn't know if I was supposed to come on here. I've been crying since I came from work. I didn't know if I was supposed to come on here. But see, because I have two sons, one is 7, about to be 8, and one is 9 months. I want to ask this question. What do I tell my son after all of this? Because I've told him about the last George Floyd, and he was like, "Mommy, well, why did that happen?" And I sat him down and I explained to him what happened. Because one thing I don't do, I don't hide stuff. It's cold out here from my son. I don't. I let him know. Even if it's ugly, I let him know. I tell him, son, you're not going to like what I'm going to say, but I have to tell you. I'm that type of parent. And he was like, oh, wow. So he doesn't really fully understand, but I just let him know that's going on. All right? So when I'm hearing all that I'm hearing, I'm like, what am I supposed to tell my son as a woman, as a parent, that wake up every morning, kiss their son on the forehead, tell him to have a good day, tell him do the best they can, don't settle for less, put your best foot forward, don't give up, when times get hard, keep pushing, don't take no for an answer, but love everyone. I put my son in a predominantly white school when he was in New Jersey. When he was about 3, 4, and 5, I believe, or 4, 5, or 2, 3, 4, and 5, for about 2 years or 3 years. And I said to myself, when I saw in his class, he was the only African American. And I said, this is good. There was all type of races. And I told my son, because he didn't even realize it. His best friend was Jewish. He was a great little boy. He was a smart little boy. Parents were golden. And I never told him, oh, you can't be friends with him. I sent him to that school because I knew that my son needed that. He needed multicultural mix up. He needed that. You see, when Black History Month came, I let him know about his culture. And I let the school know about the culture. Because one thing I'm not going to do is sit there and complain. Oh, what? I'm not that type of person. I'm going to say, listen, you guys want to know about your culture? You guys want to know about this? You guys want to know about that? I'm not going to sit there and force a Martin Luther King down their throat. Not at all. They're children. So why should I do that? Excuse this fly. So I let them know, like, listen, you guys are all the same. You guys have the same heart, the same blood coming through your veins. I think one of the little girls was saying, oh, Miss Hines, how come Demir's, my nose is a little different? And I said, okay, your nose may be a little bigger. Your hair might be a little straighter. I said, but you guys are the same. Same friends. Same. And I tell you, that school, I love that school. I love that school. If they're in any shape or form racist, I didn't know. I was paying my money, my good money, and he went to school. And I always tell Demir, you should never care about what a person looks like. You should care about how they respect you and if they love you or not. Because everybody's different. People got their different, their different attitudes of how they feel about things, but that's okay. As long as they respect you and treat you with love, that's all that matters. That's what I teach my son. Moving down to Georgia wasn't bad. Once again, his school was mixed. Mixed. Once again, I chose a school that was mixed. Because children need that. I wasn't really raised with that. I was raised with mostly African American. So I chose that for my son. But my thing is, what do I tell my son about gun violence, about police violence, about violence? What? Let's go about gun violence now. My son, he will be learning about gun violence. He will be learning how to assemble, disassemble a firearm. He will be learning what you need to know about having a gun, when to use a gun, and all that good stuff. Why? Because he needs to know it. Now, maybe not. Maybe like when he's 9 or 10 when he actually understands certain things, or 12. But the things that they're teaching these kids now, the stuff that my son come and ask me now, I'm like, oh, how you know that? And he wants me to explain certain things to him. And I'm like, okay, let's sit down. Let's have a conversation. Because this parent right here, I don't hold. I try to put it in the most, it's like right here, box cover. Did it a long time. This parent is not going to say, oh, you don't need to know about that right now. You're too young. No. Because you know what's going to happen? They're going to go out in the world and learn it out there. And I don't want that. Not for my child. Although some stuff they are going to learn, because that's life, is not everything going to learn home. But most stuff that I know he's going to encounter, I will tell him myself. So that when he goes out there, he's like, you know what? Shoot, mommy and I had a conversation about that, and I'm not about to do that. So with all this violence going on, what I tell my son, not to be nice to others. If somebody look at your way, reach for something. If somebody reach into their pocket, think it's gonna be a gun or something to hurt them. What do I tell him? After you put your child through good education, teach them the best morals, behaviors, religions, and everything, and they go out into the world, and we have a world where our color determines our life or our death. I remember my son the other day, he said to me, I said to me, you're black. He said, no, mommy, I'm brown. I mean, I laughed at that because, I mean, he is brown. He's not black. But I was like, you know what? Okay, you're brown. When he was in the other school, he said, mommy, am I white? I said, no, you're not. I said, you're not white, son. I said, you are black. He was like, mommy, I'm black? I said, yes, African-American black boy. Yep. And I explained to him. I took out this book called, I think it's called I Am King. Right? It's about Martin Luther King when he was a child, and how he dealt with, you know, frustrations, and it teaching him about bigotry and protesting and what it means, and all kinds of Black history related education. And I asked him, I said, do you know what bigotry is? And he was like, no, mom. And I said, okay, well, let's open this book and we're gonna learn. And I read it to him. But it's like, for me, it breaks my heart. And it breaks my heart because I have 2 sons, not 1. God didn't just bless me with 1. God said, Althea, you need 2. So that means I have to hold on to a certain amount of strength for my 2 kids, my 2 sons. Because one thing about, and I'm not sexist, one thing about boys or men in this world, especially our color, they get sent through the ringer. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. They get sent through the ringer. Nothing that they do is right. Everything they do is a problem. They don't take care of their children even if they're doing the best. They don't have degrees even if they're in school. They don't talk right. They don't look good. They're too black. Their hair nappy. Is always something with our black men. That's why women, queens out there, let our men have emotion. Yeah, they are entitled to show emotion. I let my son show emotion. Yeah, sometimes he may cry a little bit more and I'm like, yo, all right, relax, chill. But let them show that emotion. Because if they don't show it with you, they're going to bottle all of it up. They're going to bottle it all up. And then they're going to grow to hate. One thing I don't do, if my son feels the need that, mommy, actually, it's something I do, he'll say, mommy, I'm just not in a good mood. And I say, Papa, what's wrong? I want you to tell me what's wrong. If he doesn't want to communicate, I say, Papa, what is wrong? Use your words. Because you know what? Sorry, it's a bug. You know what? Sometimes in this society, you don't use your words. They're thinking all kinds of stuff in their brains about what you're thinking. And your next move is very critical. Because why? Our black men are labeled. I don't know the whole history, but I just know I've seen it. I see it on social media. That's why I'm not a huge social media person. This is probably going to be the only personal social media I have is YouTube. Because I feel like I can be myself. Still semi dreads. That's just how it's going to be. I got pimples. I got all that stuff on me. That's me. This is who I am. Nothing. That's how I am. Dreads rocking. That's how I am. So at the end of the day, I always tell myself, Alfia, just do your best with the mirror. Even Alex, whenever he's in the car and he's driving, sometimes he calls me, he says, I got stopped by a car, and I said, shit. Or he'll call me on the phone and say, babe, I'm about to get stopped by a cop, and I'll say, okay, stay on the phone. Be very careful. You have dreads. You're driving a car that's tinted. Please be careful. That's the last thing they want to know. They want to see that you're black, you're driving a decent car, and it's tinted. And you got dreads. I have three men to be. My son is 9 months in my house. And what do I tell him? I tell my son, when he gets older, do the best you can, all these things. Teach him all these values. Come to me if you have a problem. Come to me if you have this. Tell me this. Tell me that. Be the best person. Have a big heart. Don't judge people. Everything. Suppose my son get pulled over. And I said, Papa, just listen. It hurts my heart because I feel it for the family. I was coming home from work and my spirit just, I was shaking because I'm like, how? I'm not crying on camera now? You're not asking me to cry on camera. How? Yes, guys. So it's like, for me, how I feel, this is like a big rant. I don't know. I just feel like this world is getting crazy, and I just gotta pray. We gotta pray for our children, boy and girl, man and woman. We gotta pray, and we gotta lift each other up. I know we mad. I just got chills. I know we angry. I don't like watch news. I said every time I watch the news, it's something bad. So I stop. So I'll just hear stuff. Cause my fiance Alex love watch news. And I'm like, Jesus. But I'm like, why every time it's our men? And then in Jamaica, it's women. I mean, I just pray God. We're going through a pandemic, but God knows what he's doing. God knows what he's doing. Father, you know what you're doing. Because I wake up every morning and I'm very thankful. I work overnight and every time the clock hit 12, I'm like, thank you, Jesus. I go to sleep and I come home and I'm like, thank you, God. I got my kids, my soon-to-be husband. Everything is just falling right into place and I'm so, so thankful. You have to be thankful for everything that goes on in your life, even if it's bad. Because it's only to help you. Perseverance is the number one key to life. The number one key to life. And I always tell my son that everything goes back to my son. My son give me strength because he's been through so much in his little small life. You guys don't even know. Some of y'all probably can see this and know, but y'all don't even know. My little son, my 7-year-old son, he give me strength. Every time I feel like, no, I can't do it, I'm like, yo, remember this time and that time? Like, no, I gotta get up. I gotta get up. Although my son don't remember, I still gotta get up and say, look, no. My son went through hell and fire and back. Of course I can do this. I gotta show my son, listen, you gotta be strong out here. But it's like, you be strong and you do all these things. I just got chills again. Man, I say you just gotta pray. You gotta pray for these people. Pray for this world. I mean, even to the part where the woman said she meant to take out a taser. I'm not in no force. I'm not. Probably my sister can attest to this. She is a soldier. But if you're 20 plus years as a police officer, and I'm not saying that there's no such thing as mistakes or it just happened, because God knows I do my job. I mean, it's only been 6 years for me, but sometimes I say, okay, I made a mistake. But don't you know plastic from metal, what it feels like? Or your brain was just so not thinking that you need to actually think about what's going on at the moment and figure out what you're gonna pull before you just aim and fire. What do you think about? But if the person was a different color, what do you think would happen? You think they would have hesitated and said, oh, let me see what's going on back here. Once again, what do I tell my son? You know what, people? Honestly, we just have to live and pray real hard for the next generation, our children. Pray for ourselves, pray for others, and make sure that, hey, everybody all right? There is no competition. African Americans, hello, you there? Oops. There is no competition. We should be praying for each other. You don't have a degree? That's cool. I'm still going to pray for you. You're not rich? That's fine. I'm still going to pray for you. You don't have food? That's okay. I'm still going to pray for you. Our people. Our people. I'm a little light, maybe ashy. Our people. We must pray for each other. Nobody is better than nobody. We all have blood going through our veins. You hear what I say? We all have blood going through our veins. We have children. Children? Okay? It's not our fault that all this is going on. It's not our fault. But we have to pray for the best. We do. And I know this is probably a long video, and I'm sorry. But I was just like, what do I tell my kid? When the may reach out 15, 16, 18, and him have car and him I do this, what do I tell him? After I've told him everything I know, what do I tell him? What the Bible say? Grow up a child in what? Okay. He will never what? They will never what? Okay. I'm not perfect. I don't know the Bible inside out, outside in. But I do know that I teach my son, I will teach my children the best that I can. And whatever God has in store for them, I pray for nothing but positivity. You hear me? That's life. You gotta stay positive. Okay, guys? I know we're mad. I know we're upset. We all have to go down on our knees and pray for the people who have done this. Pray for them. Don't try to destroy them. Pray for them hard. Because God, you say God have a plan for everybody on this earth. Okay? I'ma go now. Stay prayed up. Stay positive, guys. You're all blessed. If you have a roof over your head, you're blessed. If you have food in your fridge, you're blessed. If you have water, you're blessed. Shout out to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I'm praying for y'all too. I'm praying for y'all. Okay?